Well, we're here at Katunkwit Chronicles, and we're here with none other than Henrik Anderson. He's our visiting filmmaker, but as often is the case, co-hosting this day, we have Patrick Callahan.
Good to be back.
Yes, it's good to have you back, Patrick, in the hot seat. I expect lots from you this day, as I always do.
I hope to be of service as the best co-host with the co-most.
Yes, I brought in Henrik today, and he's a filmmaker. And I have been working with Henrik a bit because we're working on a movie together, and that's been a hell of a lot of fun. So I figured I'd get him in here to see if he could tell us a little bit more about the business, and we could just go over some of our own experiences that we've recently had. It's been a lot of fun.
It's always fun. That's why by the way, hello everybody in Katunkwit.
Yes, Katunkwit, here we are.
It's funny to be on this side of the radio, or this side of the podcast.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, you live in Katunkwit.
I do. Not full time. Obviously, being a filmmaker, there's not a lot of film jobs on our little island. So it's more of a get away from the world after being in the world to come home to experience.
Yes.
And having been born in another country where I've had this interesting perspective of what the United States is actually like versus what the mythos of is from, say, the European perspective.
Well, let's get your origins. Where are you from? Are you from another island somewhere?
Actually, I am. I'm from a small island called Nyborg.
Ah.
Between Copenhagen and the island of Fyn.
Copenhagen
Denmark.
is Denmark.
Correct. Yes, sorry.
Yes. For those of you, those living out in Oklahoma. That's a long way.
It is a long way, and my parents came from there to here, and when they found Katunkwit, well, they wanted to move to Jamestown, but I guess Jamestown might have been prejudiced against people from certain parts of Europe, so they're like, well, we'll go to the island north where people don't seem to have this ego or attitude toward, us foreign folk from Europe.
That's right. And what's going on in Jamestown? I've not heard of this prejudice, although we did make note of a filmmaking crew that was on the island. We had a guest who came in and told us about pornos that were being made in the 70s on the island.
On Katunkwit Island?
No, they were on...
in Jamestown.
They were in Jamestown.
Oh, okay.
Very interesting, because that's one
thing...
They
were Swedes.
Well, I was going to say, in Scandinavia, the attitude toward pornography is a little, less severe and prejudiced against that type of... I don't want to call it an art form, but,
Well, you can call it an art form. I've seen some pretty artful pornos. I don't watch them very often, for those of you that are on checking this out in whatever you're checking this out.
It's a
the
medium
Bible
that
Belt.
has clearly lost its way.
Yes.
Has not held up with time. It's not really been something of a exclusive nature as it once was.
Well,
I blame the internet.
It lacks a proper structure.
Oh, there's plenty of structure.
There's no story
You've seen these
there.
people? They're very well structured.
Well, there's still structure, yes, and there's plenty of support, right? However, I'm wondering, where did the storyline go? And that's over. It's like, get on it.
Okay, you're talking about my storyline.
No, filmmaking in the porn business. But I don't know why. I know you're not a porno filmmaker.
Well, I would think the structure, there's always a beginning, and there's always a middle, and it comes to, as we call the climax, the end.
Yeah, that's right. I guess there is structure. So let's talk more about that. So you came from this foreign country. Were you a young man or an older man when you, or not a man at all when you left?
I was very much a child. And I still have a family that lives in Denmark.
There's just a faint, bit of the accent still there. Yeah, I can hear it just sometimes in certain words. Do you hear this?
Just a tad,
Patrick?
yeah.
Well, you could thank my father for that.
Your father.
As well as my mother, who is actually British. So I sort of got a double, how to pronounce things.
Now, what you
literally the King's English and the translation of the King's English.
Right.
Your father, was he, as I understand, was he a boat captain?
That's what the
ship's captain.
The world knew him as that. Yes.
But he was actually in the CIA.
It's funny you mentioned that.
He's passed now, right?
No, he's still with us.
Oh, is he?
But he's
Oh.
very much not part of the CIA or ship captaining. But he did share that tidbit of true story. He had sent me down to Long Island.
You always suspect when someone says true story, Patrick. That's a rule, okay?
Yeah.
He somehow thought I had the wherewithal to identify a boat being of seaworthiness for him to purchase sight unseen, which was a massive leap because, ironically, growing up on an island, I had very little interest in boats. It was more of a chore. Ask a kid who grew up in Kansas and said, "How do you feel about the cornfields?" They're going to say the same thing. Get me out of here. Anything else but this.
That's fair to say.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
So I
Corn
thought-
huskers.
Very surprising that he would entrust upon me, is this boat worth, go check it out. And I did. And he relocated for a short time. I think he rented a small cottage on the northern side of Long Island near Port Jefferson. And the point I'm bringing up is that I was living in New York City at the time, and I would go out there. And my father, in the true Scandinavian sense, really likes to enjoy life. And it wasn't just about going out to visit. It was about, hey, we're going to go out and we're going to celebrate with food and wine, among other things. And this would be very long into the night events.
That's what the porno people were doing. Okay.
Well, nothing was filmed, I can assure you.
No,
of
okay.
that.
But they drink some sort of liquor. What's it called?
Akavit,
That's it.
yes.
I like the idea of that.
Yeah.
It's supposed to be a cure-all for just about everything.
I put it on my toenails to make sure that get rid of that negative look.
Toe jam?
Yeah, that's right. So jam. Anyway, keep going. Sorry.
Anyways, it was brought up in a topic. I brought somebody out there with me who happened to work for the United Nations. They got into some sort of, I wouldn't call it a philosophical debate, but there were some words being exchanged. And my father kept coming back with all these things that I had never heard of growing up. And I asked him, what is all this? And he looked at me and he said, look, I always wanted to tell you this, but I couldn't. How I came to this country and why I came to this country and how easy was it for me to assimilate in this country was because he was sponsored. He was sponsored by a certain departmental government in Langley, Virginia. And he would go around to the world as a ship's captain, and being of a Danish citizen, he could get into places like the Soviet Union, Communist China, Cuba, places where Danes were still allowed to go, but Americans were not. And he would live among the people there while his ship was in the dry docks or whatever they were unloading, and learn about the price of a loaf of bread or...
So safe to say he was a Great Dane.
It is a very great Dane.
He's a Great Dane. I'm
Very
sorry.
great
Keep going.
Anyway, I don't know how we got on that topic.
No. I mean, I brought it up jokingly, and then
Well,
how
it's
many
funny.
times, Callahan, have we had anybody that's actually responded to my assertion that they were in the CIA and
Yeah.
actually had a CIA
That's
agent
a connection,
association?
Yeah.
That's so funny. That's the first time that's come about.
And I'm sure I'm going to hear from him. This is the first time this has been spoken about. On the
Yeah. It's weird how even family members, can just let you know something late in life, where they
Well,
didn't feel
it
comfortable
explained a
earlier.
lot of things, though. A lot of things.
They have the aquavit.
And, well, the Akavit you can never explain. You have to experience. But anyhow, there are many things that I could never put my finger on, despite him being a ship's captain, that would explain the oddities of his long absences.
Have you considered making a film with this topic? I have a lot of things coming to my mind because I think cinematically sometimes, and I'm thinking this might be a great story.
It could be. It could be. I mean, I think
It's
the
written
spy
well.
genre is a bit overplayed. Everyone's all either fixated on, big world events that we're all aware of, or there's got to be some form of, clandestine black art, espionage, assassinations, or whatever. I think he literally was somebody that they could, he could get inside to a, community existence and report back on what's actually happening there.
Oh,
And not about like, hey, you got to go knock this person off and come back with this vial of whatever blueprint,
Right,
microfilm, or whatever.
Oh.
No, there's nothing like space agey or techie about that.
no.
No.
Now, if I may ask, what kind of filmmaking are you doing right now? I know what you're doing with me, but maybe you could tell the rest of the world.
So there was always this understanding that if I were to do something going out on a limb is going to film school at the time that I went to film school, which was not a very common thing at that time.
When was that?
Oh, well, I'm going to date myself here. It was in the early 90s.
Well, you maybe can get somebody else to date you.
I had no
Early
idea that
90s.
this was a dating show.
Well, early
Who was
90s
behind
sounds
that
good to
curtain,
me.
Mr. Callahan? Oh, I like that. Pull that back. But anyway, to answer your question, I always looked at it from a very practical sense. You know, how can I make a living at this? How can I still be creative in making a living at this? And fortunately, at that time, there were music videos being made for record labels that played on a channel called MTV. And having watched a lot of that MTV when I was growing up, both here in America and back home in Europe,
I want my MTV.
they had their version of MTV coming from a few different outlets. And it sort of became, you know, a mild obsession of like, ooh, how can I do that? But it really all came down to, I went to a New York City field trip. And we took the bus from Cotuncquit
Oh, nice.
down to Manhattan. And we went to, I think we were going to like a museum, followed by a Broadway show.
Oh,
And I was like, you know, museums are great.
we went to the egg farm.
the egg farm.
That we didn't. Our field trip wasn't quite as extensive. We went down to the farm and see how the eggs were laid. That was it.
I
Sorry,
do remember
keep going.
doing a local farm over on the mainland.
Yeah.
And I remember it was quite some controversy. My schoolmates were obsessed with feeding, I believe it was some kind of horse manure rolled up in grass to the farm animals, and they would all get a chuckle out of it. Now, I've always been one just to want to sort of steal the spotlight, but also show people, hey, I'm going to take this up a notch.
And you said eat shit.
There's nothing verbal about what I said, but I did learn a new word as a result of that story, of these actions. I took my ham sandwich and fed that to the pigs, thinking that I was outdoing everybody feeding the horse manure to the horses. Well, the teacher saw this, and she was beside herself. Like, what are you doing? You're turning them into cannibals.
All right, continue with your story. Sorry about the.
Little digression.
Diversion.
Yeah. So New York City. I actually had been to that museum before because the only way back home to Denmark when I was a child was going to New York City. There was no flight out of Logan. There was definitely no flights out of Providence. And we would always make a thing of staying in New York City on our way to and from Denmark. So obviously that comes with the requisite, we're going to take the children to the museum. Anyway, having been familiar with the museum and having no interest in seeing a Broadway show at 15 or 16 years old, I decided I skipped out. I just walked right out of that museum and went right into Manhattan and was just amazed. And I went by the
Great.
public library over in Bryant Park, and I saw for the first time ever what I've only seen in like magazines that show like the filmmaking industry was a film crew, an actual film crew. And they were set up, and I just stopped. I was staring at like, what is this? I have to watch every moment of this. And some man in a thick, I believe, Italian accent came up to me and said, here, sit next to me, say nothing, touch nothing, just watch. And I watched him do this one shot of somebody crossing the street 20 some odd times. And then what made the story even more memorable, some months later,
He didn't ask you to touch him or anything, did he?
the camera, the
No,
person-
the Italian man.
He may have. My Italian's not very good. But anyway, I saw this commercial on television, and I was like, I was there when they made that. I got a glimpse of what actually was part of the process of what most people take for granted when they see something on the screen. What might seem so instant was something that they just like meticulously and laboriously redid until they got it right. And I was like, this is what I want to do.
I've experienced that.
You have?
Yeah,
You have.
17 takes this morning. Okay, but they were all good.
They were all good.
Keep going.
Well, good being a relative term.
Of course. Yeah. How would you rate? How would you rate those 17 takes?
Numerous.
Laborious.
But you have, hey, look, if you're ever thinking about when you're doing 17 takes that you're doing 17 takes, you don't belong in this industry. You should be doing something else.
Oh no, I was enjoying the hell out of it. I was
You
just
have
kidding.
to. You have
Yeah.
to.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Absolutely. I mean,
You're being very particular about what you're looking for and what you're seeing, and then you're getting the most out of the person, it's not going to happen on the first take. And
Well,
that's
it's also
just-
what I do with before we finish and move on. As you remember or recall, I'll throw the ball to you and say dribble and
do whatever you want.
Go with this
Throw it
because
your way, yeah.
you never know what happy accident.
accidents, right? Yeah.
Exactly.
Absolutely.
I'm sorry. So that was cool. Anyway, getting back to myself, of course.
It is your show.
I'm just joking. So you're a student. You're 15, 16 years old. You bugged out on the class. Did they get upset with you at all when
They
you?
had no idea it was like that. I caught up with everybody when they were leaving the Broadway show, and I had my little playbill that I picked up the
Excellent.
street,
Yep,
and,
yep.
and I was like, wow, famous actor who was on television show was on that. How cool was this? They didn't know.
Good for you. So this is the catalyst for you to take an interest in this meticulous process that you described.
Well, it's not
And-
just it's a catalyst to prove to my parents, who are going to be funding my education, there is a viable career in which to be had.
Right.
I'm not going to go off and play Andy Warhol or somebody and make little art films that may or may not be seen by the world. And then at that time, television was a very limited entryway into mass communication.
Right.
Now it's huge.
Right now, I mean, anybody can pick up a device and put it on the social channels.
Yep. Absolutely.
Which I believe you have a great deal of understanding of that because
do,
your
yes.
master's is in that.
Yes, did a master's. One of my focus areas was in social media. So,
What's
yeah.
that?
What's that? There's this wonderful new thing out there, and I say wonderful in air quotes, but the audience can't see that. But no, I've always had an interest. I love your story. I've always had an interest in film media, and similar to your background. It was always my family was always very supportive, but at the same time saying, well, how can we make sure that your career is stable in that? And I was able to pair it with my education and
And you
sort of-
told them, just send a check every month.
yeah, exactly, yeah. But I've been able to do. I'm very lucky in the media world for sure. So
Yeah. Well, it's luck, but you were definitely working your ass off. I see you working quite a lot, Callahan. You have been a huge support to everything that I've done, and I appreciate you more than you could ever know.
no, thank you.
I appreciate
Thank you for
that.
saying that. No, that's
your
very kind.
your belief in me and the belief in the things that I've been working on has been unsurpassed. And you don't have a lot of champions in life, and you're in this industry of being. It's not an industry for me, but in the world of the arts,
Yeah,
and
creativity.
you are certainly one of those that have brought a lot of people along, not just myself, and I appreciate that,
Oh,
Callahan.
thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you very much. I
Very
appreciate
good.
it. Always great working with you guys.
Yeah, it's fun. I'm just got to keep the people that are so instrumental in the production of this Katunkwit Chronicle event each week.
Absolutely.
And keep them happy with us, hopefully. And the University of Rhode Island seems to still like us.
Oh yeah. Big fans of Katunkwit Chronicles.
Do we make it?
Katunkwitonians.
Are we discussed at meetings? Do we have any of those moments where
I
you
have to interject. Katunkwitonians?
Katunkwitonians.
Katunkwitonians? That's who.
Katunkwitonians.
I
So
don't
we are.
believe that there was any legislation that passed it for it to be the official saying. Or I thought it was Katunkwitites.
No, Katunkwitonians. Katunkwitonians.
That sounds so imperial, though.
I know.
It's like a leftover of the British, Empire.
Oh, well, maybe it is. Maybe we'll put that to test.
Katunkwitites sounds
Yeah.
like somebody that might fight back if they're
Yeah.
oppressed.
Yeah.
Katunkwitonians are going to,
Yeah.
that's the Katunkwitonian way. Let's just go with it.
Yeah. No,
Hey, he's got something here.
I think we have to
Katunkwitites.
bring that up at the next meeting.
I like the idea of the last part of it being tight.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like
Yeah.
that. Katunkwitite.
Yeah.
And in Katunkwitonian, it is a little longer and a little more difficult.
Yeah.
So
But also has an elitist tone.
It does. It does. Yeah.
Now, I don't actually know, and I'm ashamed to ask this question, having grown up for the better part of my life in the island. do we even have a town hall in which to debate this?
No, probably not. I think that those are done at the school. Those town hall events are at the school, but it's usually budget related. It's a small town
I'm sure
shit,
we
right?
can get a nice happy hour activity going and get people,
Absolutely.
you know.
So I started asking you what type of filmmaker you are, and you went back to your childhood, which was really exciting to hear the details of how you came to this, career. But now, could you be more specific as to what kind of commercial films you're making, and maybe what kind of art projects you're working on, if you want to?
Sure. I think I scratched the surface a little bit when I was talking about being a big fan of music videos. Music videos was
Right,
a
you
viable medium back in the day. And I was fortunate enough at the school that I attended, there was a professor who was a working music video director. And he was doing stuff that I was just in awe of. And one day he taught me the basics, There is a structure, much like in the pornographic films you mentioned earlier, of, how in which to tell a story musically, visually, and having it all come together and having it being a nice piece of multimedia. Yes, you're raising your hand.
I am raising my hand. Did this professor have a very, 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 very short attention span? Because MTV, for me, makes me nauseous. Because I want to lock in. I'm looking at something I'm really amused by, and it's gone. And it's gone. And it's gone. And it's gone. And I like a lot of the things I'm seeing. But I'm still back on that because my brain works like that, because I have the ADHD, as we all know. Even people in Iowa know that. Now, that said, why so minuscule segments? Why are they?
I think it's driven by the type of music.
Okay.
And I think when you're listening to a track from
So
a certain
Blondie,
band,
like for instance, would be Fast Images.
or it could be The Tide is High by Blondie, which is a very melodic, slow, swooning song, which does not demand for a rapid-fire assault of visuals. coming
So
at
you're
you.
an illustrator, essentially, when you're doing this kind of work. You're bringing some meaning to the visuals.
Whether I'm intending to or whether it's being interpreted that way, yes, maybe no. It's hard to say. I mean, I don't like to dissect what I'm doing. It sounds a little pompous, or, I think very highly of what it is that I do, that I can sit here and say it's because of, or, There's something that feels right about what you do when you're making a visual to accompany a track of music. And I think that can also be obviously translated to a script and to what a performance can be.
Okay.
But anyway, but to cycle back to what you were saying, music videos was an entry point for me. And it was also a great learning of the business as well as the expression of creativity. And I used that to get into commercial filmmaking, which I have done for the majority of my career, pretty much the world over. And now that commercials aren't what they used to be, because television watching isn't what it used to be, you can make a commercial for the internet, but now people can tune out so quickly. The challenge for me always was, when I was working with an advertising agency creative team, how do we make something that is going to stop people from changing the channel, getting up to use the bathroom, grabbing that second or third, fourth beer from the refrigerator or whatever it is it might be that goes with their TV watching experience? And it always came back to comedy. And I hated working in comedy because it's not what I wanted to do. I wanted to make like the beautiful, sexy, materialistically driven imagery that you would associate with like a car commercial or a beer commercial or a denim commercial, something that had like visual attitude. And then somewhere along the line, I partnered with the producer, and I think what happened was he made me realize that I actually had a sense of humor about things, even though I wasn't trying to be funny.
You are Scandinavian.
Very subtle, very we excel at subtlety. But anyhow, or stoicism, I guess, is another way to say
Yes,
it.
it's morose.
All right, well, hold on a second. You want morose, you got to go to Germany or another place.
Okay, I got
They're
you.
morose.
Okay.
Anyway,
I hear that.
No, we're all big loving families of the European continent. But anyhow, what kind of films, you ask? I'm in a transitionary period right now, coming off of what has been 3 decades of making media for advertisement, for selling products and messages. Now, I wasn't ever doing the straight sell of like, how much would you pay for, or buy now. No, everything was very story-driven, especially when it was comedy. You want to hook people. You want to get a nice, you're rewarding them. We're interrupting what you are doing, and here's the reward of watching what we're about to present to you, whether that would be through humor or beautiful images or whatnot. And I feel that I trained enough as an artist, as a filmmaker, that it's time for me now to tell stories that people will actually want to watch and seek out to watch, as opposed to coming across quite by accident because we're interrupting their routine. So is there a particular genre? I don't know. I mean, a lot for me is to look and see, what is the world that I've seen? What is the world that I know? And are other people going to find that fascinating? Probably not. But any good storyteller knows how to add a level of bullshit to the equation, to the ingredients.
Right.
And then that's, you embellish things.
Oh, so true. You'll hear some bullshit when I read my story in a little while. I mean, it's based on
so it's all the
events,
same. Your
yeah.
medium and my medium
Yeah,
are quite.
same thing,
We're all
yeah.
bullshit artists.
Yeah.
I forgot. Are we allowed to say this word
Yes,
on the internet?
Yeah, of course.
yeah.
Yeah, Charlie Varick movie I just saw. I just saw it again after somewhat like maybe 40, no, more than 40, 50-something years. I saw it in the theater, starring Walter Matthau. We talked about this earlier.
We did.
And it brought back, such fond memories of being in a theater for one of the first times. It was 3 times I went to the theater when I was a boy. I don't know. It was a different time. We didn't have any money. And once was for Mary Poppins.
Yep.
Sang through the whole thing. It was maybe 7 or something like that. 6. Then I was at Sound of Music.
Sound of Music. Yep.
Sensing a Julie Andrews theme. Yeah.
Yeah, that's right. She got.
Did she
She
date
had my-
Walter Matthau by chance?
She had my attention. And then I think maybe there was one in between there. My father brought me to see something called Tora, 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 which was
The Pearl Harbor movie.
Pearl Harbor movie. And then I went with my uncle and my father to that one. And then this one, Charlie Varick. And it's a simple movie. Walter Matthau plays a interesting pilot guy who's a thief. Really fun movie.
Pilot guy who's a thief.
Yeah, he's a pilot by day and a thief. Yeah,
Right there, I have to say I struggle with that notion, and here's why. I'm going to believe as a pilot you must have some level of religion. Whether you truly believe in a God or not, there's probably been a few moments where you said, God, get me out of this.
Yep.
And in exchange, I will stop stealing.
Yeah.
Yeah, good.
Yeah.
So I've been focusing also on watching Robert De Niro, too. And I've really enjoyed that. And I watched one of his earliest movies. It might have been the second movie he ever did. And he has since made an effort to get rid of this movie, apparently, from one of the movie houses there. You can buy online. The streaming service provides it. And it's a movie called The Swap, but apparently it was filmed in multiple different decades. It's all convoluted. The script was meaningless. His lines were delivered poorly. He didn't have it.
All the qualities of a pornographic film.
Yeah, it was somewhat pornographic too. There was some sex scenes, and he would say silly things, misogynist things. It just didn't come. So having seen so many of his films subsequently, before I saw this one, I just, you can't believe that wonderful actor came from those beginnings, right?
Right.
And you could say that about other actors too.
I think you could say that about anybody who's accomplished in anything, whether they're an ice cream salesman who's gone and become, the key shareholder of a massive international dairy firm, or somebody who is, a phenomenal actor and star like De Niro. They all have to start somewhere.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, they scooping ice cream in the beginning. Right, I got you. Have you ever seen the movie Harold and Maude?
I have. That's sort of it's a requisite viewing coming from Scandinavia.
I love it. That's why I mentioned it.
It's funny because if you go back to Scandinavia, or probably anywhere in Europe, with maybe the exception of certain parts of the United Kingdom, anyway, they don't get hung up on the storyline. The romance between a woman, I believe she was in her late 70s or 80s,
Yeah.
with a young man that was just post-adolescent.
Pardon me. Yeah.
And, it wasn't a torrid film by any means, but there was definitely a bond. And I think that's
You know the movie?
I've never seen it. No.
Oh, you should.
Oh,
You
yeah.
should. It's very good. It's
very good.
Yeah.
But I also think it's a great way of, not sort of getting hung up on the rules, if you will, of society. I mean, they in fact, it's been some years since I've seen it. They sort of got into some criminal hijinks, maybe. Didn't they get into?
Oh, I haven't seen it recently.
I believe there was something that they should not have been doing, regardless of their age difference. But even if they were a couple that was contemporary in their years, they were involved in some sort of escapade, which was that to me was more questionable of their character.
I think it involved a car. Yeah.
Possibly. But again, it wasn't a violent film. It wasn't, it wasn't a tawdry film in the sense. But it was a great film.
I think it might be time for some music,
I
some
think so.
waves, and some bubbles. Okay, we come to that part of the show. It's a new part of our show. We have someone here that knows quite a bit about movies, and we're going to give him some lines from movies, and you're going to play as well.
Okay. Yep.
And we'd like either of you to come up with the answer. Okay, the first one is, this is the quote, you give me the movie, and if you know the year, that's great. Open the pod bay doors, Hal.
2001, A Space Odyssey, 1968.
Oh, you saw the. You must have seen the whole thing there, right? So
My mother
let's see.
was pregnant with me when she saw that film.
Dave Bowman asks Hal to open the bay doors. Hal says no. That's the moment the film shifts from science fiction into something closer to horror. All right, so how about this one? I'm sorry, Dave. I'm afraid I can't do that.
The same-
2001: A
same
Space
movie.
Odyssey.
There you go. I was going to try to trick you, but I didn't. Okay, this one might be a little bit easier. Well, keep your friends close, but your enemies closer.
I think that's Marlon Brando in The Godfather.
Well, it's actually Godfather Part 2, and I shouldn't have done the accent.
I was gonna say
Because it was
Yeah, I was gonna
actually,
say, I thought it was.
it's Pacino,
It was
right?
Pacino, yeah.
Keep your friends close,
Yeah.
but your enemies closer.
Keep
He
your
says
friends
it.
close and your enemies closer.
Closer.
No,
Right.
no, that's more Pacino.
He says that.
That's more modern.
It's more
Pacino.
modern Pacino,
Yes.
not 70s subtle Pacino.
Yeah.
That Scent of a Woman Pacino.
Yes.
My
Yeah.
father always said, keep your enemies close. Yeah, that's what he said.
Wasn't there also a famous president who said the same thing? Was it Lincoln or somebody who filled their cabinet with
It was
less,
Lincoln.
less than the people that were aligned with his best intentions?
Yep. I think that was Lincoln. Yeah, like the gang of rivals or something like that. Something of rivals. Team of
Yes,
rivals.
that's right.
Yeah.
Yes, I read the book. Say hello to my little friend.
Oh, Scarface.
Yes, 1983.
1982.
Yeah, 83.
Oh, I think we need to do an IMDb search
Yeah.
on that.
Oh, this is going to be easy for you. I'm as mad as hell, and I'm not going to take it at this anymore. Oh, come on. Easy.
I know the line.
I'm as mad as hell, and I'm not going to take this anymore.
Dustin Hoffman, right?
Peter Finch, no.
No.
Peter Finch.
Best actor. He died posthumously for his role. died of a heart attack 2 months before the ceremony, making him the first
Oh.
actor ever to win the award after the death.
George C. Scott.
No,
No.
1976 is satire. It's the movie
Oh,
is
Network.
Network.
1976.
Yes,
yep.
1976.
I had not known that he had passed before.
Now you do.
Well,
And also that's the line I always use. My friend has a Festivus party, and we go to the Festivus holiday celebration. In fact, it's Ashlyn.
Oh, really?
Ashlyn Kamara.
Yeah.
And she has this party, and she's like a witch. So she has a big cauldron that has, she made all this stuff with a big iron thing that comes over and a big pot of chili that's cooking over an open fire. It's quite impressive. But then we have the airing of the grievances.
Right.
And I yell that.
Yep.
I'm mad as hell, and I'm not going to take it anymore.
Your Frank Costanza moment.
How about, this one might be trickier. I'll give you the year, 1967. Plastics.
oh, The Graduate.
There you go. Okay. It's the funniest line in the movie and also the saddest. The middle-aged businessman corners Benjamin Braddock at his graduation party to offer him one word of career advice.
Yeah,
Ironic
how
now.
true that was, though. Plastics.
Yeah, it was true, but it's also ironic now that we're drinking this stuff and it's in our colons and it's in our brains. You know, there's equivalent of one full-size plastic spoon of plastic in our brains, many of us, just from drinking the water we drink and eating the foods we eat.
I'm so grateful and fortunate to the strict upbringing I had as a child, where everything was consumed through paper products or stainless steel. Plastic was,
Good for you.
Yeah.
it was not allowed. It's just something that we avoided.
My family was like, if it's good for the astronauts, it's good for you. Drink the Tang.
Drink the Tang, yeah.
Get out! Get out! 2017.
I think the name of the film.
I think it's
is what
Get
it is.
Out.
Yes.
That's it. You got it. I was trying to trick you. Wow, this is another easy one. I could have been a contender.
Yes. Streetcar Named Desire.
Marlon Brando on the waterfront.
On the Waterfront.
1954.
Sorry.
Great
I
movie.
knew it was
Great
Brando.
It was
acting.
Brando. I wasn't sure which.
That was 54.
Yeah, he had a nice long career. Oh, that's all right, Mr. DeMille. I'm ready for my close-up.
That's a 50s film.
1950.
And
Gloria Swanson.
thank you. It is not
Norma Desmond.
Hold on, it's the name of a street. Sunset Boulevard.
Yeah,
Okay.
Sunset Boulevard. There you have it. And who was her? Gloria Swanson was with. Forget the guy's name, but it's
Alec
wonderful.
von Stroheim, I believe. Was in that movie.
Maybe he was.
He was.
He was. Okay, I don't think
Very
he
popular
played.
German actor that found success in Hollywood for one reason. He always was typecast as a Nazi. And during the 40s, when they made the propaganda films for the war effort, he was always what they called the man you love to hate.
Oh, yep.
Ah,
He was
yeah.
also the first film director to wear a six-gun because he was a method director, and he would have his cast where you need to look sweaty. You're going to run in the desert for 2 miles. And people are like, this is insane. And he had death threats and angry. So he started wearing a revolver. It's California. It's the Old West.
Yeah.
And it worked. He never had shot it. He never shot anybody, to my knowledge. But
That's great.
A martini, shaken and not stirred. You know it's Bond, right?
Dr. No?
Goldfinger, 1964.
is that the first
Is
time
that
he
somebody
said
orders
this?
it?
Yeah, perhaps just as iconic as Bond's introduction is his drink order.
Now,
Been repeated across so many films that it stopped becoming a signature and probably the most successful piece of character branding in cinema history.
even in the very first film, he makes an appearance, Casino Royale. Not the Casino Royale of the late 2000s or the mid 2000s, but the one with Woody Allen and Peter Sellers. I believe
Yeah.
there was. Did he not mention how he likes his martinis in that movie?
He does in many of the movies, they said. However, this was the first time. Goldfinger, 1964.
Interesting.
Elementary, my dear Watson.
Well, that's Holmes.
Yes.
Sherlock Holmes.
What's the name of the movie?
The Adventures of Sherlock
Yes,
Holmes?
you know it. 1939. Very well done.
And that was another thing like Bond.
Yeah. Right.
Pick from the list.
Right.
Good list. Good catch.
They're here.
Poltergeist.
Yeah, good. You guys are
1982.
great.
Oh, 82.
2. Very good. I'm Batman.
I believe the same title is the name of the film. 1989. Tim Burton. Batman.
Michael Keaton.
Michael Keaton.
Very good, though. Nice job. Forget it, Jake. It's Chinatown.
Chinatown. Jack Nicholson.
1974. That's amazing that's that old. And he's still around doing his thing. Do or do not.
Wait, who's still around doing this thing?
Nicholson.
Oh, I was thinking of the director.
Do or do not. There is no try.
Yoda. 1980. Empire Strikes Back.
Wow, you know that stuff. Wow. Winter is coming.
That's a trick question.
No, it's not.
Is it a movie or a television show?
Well, television.
Oh, it's Game of Thrones.
Yeah.
Well, there you have it.
But now,
Tricky.
as a trick, you had us walk onto this carpet that you're about to pull out from underneath us. A movie is a self-standing entity. This is but one episode of how many episodes of how many seasons?
So it's even more powerful that it's known
Yes.
because it's only had
Yeah.
this one.
But it was one of the most ubiquitous lines of the movie. Of the series.
I think they use it a lot. Yeah.
What the fuck did he say?
Didn't it also become like a joke? Yeah, winter's coming.
Winter's
Sure,
coming.
yeah,
Winter's
yeah,
coming.
yeah.
And then.
Oh,
Dad
okay.
always says that.
Yeah.
It's always winter there, though. My name is Inigo Montoya. You killed my father. Prepare to die.
Oh, that's the Princess Bride.
Princess Bride,
Jeez,
yeah.
you guys know this stuff.
1986?
7.
Okay.
What we've got here is a failure to communicate. Oh, I love this line.
Cool Hand Luke.
Yeah, 1967.
Yep.
Such a good film. Wonderful
Paul
film.
Newman was Luke himself, right? Or Mr. Cool
He
Hand. I'm
was.
not sure how we.
No, he was. Ooh. Houston, we have a problem.
That's Tom Hanks as Jim Lovell in Apollo 13, 1995.
Yeah, Houston, we have a problem. It's the most understated thing. It's almost as understated as when the rocket blew up, with all the teacher on it and all these other people. Challenger.
Yeah.
And the announcer said, we have a major malfunction.
Yep. Yeah. I guess that describes it.
No, I think he said, we obviously have a major malfunction.
Mm-hmm.
Whoa.
That always reminded me of an episode of The Simpsons. I'm sure the world over people are going to remember this episode, but there's a meteorite coming to smash into Springfield. And there is no way for the denizens of Springfield, much like if it's happened on Cotunkit, we're all screwed because the last bridge out of town was taken out by mistake. Anyway, prior to the last bridge being taken out of town, that was Homer's plan for the Simpson family to find refuge from this coming comet or meteorite. Don't worry, children, we'll take the last bridge out of town. And what happens, and they shoot up a rocket, the rocket misses the comet, and smashes into the last bridge. And the funniest line of the entire show is Homer Simpson says, "It's times like this I'm glad I'm a religious man." And then the priest, Reverend Lovejoy, I believe his name is, coming running down the street going, "It's all over, people. We haven't got a prayer." I don't know why I always correlate that to Houston, we have a problem.
That's the irony
That's a
of it.
great
That's
line.
why there's irony there. Well, nobody's perfect. Might not get this one.
Oh, Some Like It Hot.
Wow, you're good. 1959. Very good. Billy Wilder.
Was that Marilyn Monroe who said that?
Billy Wilder apparently had trouble coming up with a better ending, which is either the best or worst argument for trusting your instincts, depending on how you like it. It goes back to what you said. I think when you were directing me today, earlier, we were doing a little movie work. I'm an actor a little bit. And in a film that Henrik is working with me on. And he said at the end, the last take, he said, do what you want. So I mooned him, of course. Of all the gin joints in all the towns in all the world, she walks into mine.
Well, that was not Jimmy Stewart who said that.
No.
It was
Of
Mr.
all the
Mr.
gin
Bogart.
joints in all the towns in all the world,
Casablanca,
she walks into mine.
1941.
1942, but they're very good. 1942.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, wow. I
They
was-
made that, before the war started, I think.
Well, the war was already happening.
I know, before we got in there, I should say.
Yeah.
I'll have what she's having.
That's when Harry met Sally.
Yeah, okay. I'm going to get down, I'm going to go back to like the last four now, because we have some other things we want to do too. Frankly, my dear, I don't give a damn.
Gone with the Wind.
There's no place like home.
Funny you mentioned that. Wizard of Oz was also made by the same director as Gone with the Wind.
Victor Fleming.
Yes.
You know your shit over there, boss. I directed a lot of the stuff over this way to Henrik, and Callahan's kicking ass.
He's
You-
a student of the internet. He should
Yes.
know about
Yes,
everything.
exactly.
You talking to me?
Taxi driver.
1976. Here's looking at you, kid. We said that already.
Or 1942.
Casablanca.
Oh,
That gets 2 votes because there was 2 very important. Oh, this one. I'm your father.
Oh, Empire Strikes Back.
This is number 2 of the most famous. And the most famous line from any movie ever. I'm going to make him an offer he can't refuse.
Now that's Brando in The Godfather.
Godfather,
There we go.
1972. Yeah. So that was fun. We got a little
Yeah,
something different.
that was great.
Just something up. Change it up a little bit. And we have music, waves, and bubbles. Oh, just so you know, we put all that stuff in after.
That's in post,
That's
yeah.
in post.
I was walking into what I was hoping to see, a nice little waterfall.
Yeah,
pool,
yeah, yeah,
you
yeah.
know.
So it's time for commercials, the Katunkwit Chronicle commercials, which is always fun. And feel free to interject with anything you might want to say about these commercials, these businesses in our community, because they need all the help they can get. Katunkwit Movie House of Memories never offers first-run movies. We only play movies that are 5 years old and older. Our popcorn is freshly popped. Our butter is from a local farm here in Katunkwit, the same farm that grows our popping corn. Our beer and root beer are brewed on site, and we have couches for you lovers in the audience. All seats and couches are sanitized after each showing. Candy is from Sweeter's Chocolates of Wakefield. Bring your credit card. You're going to want to try everything we offer. Second show free for those that want to stay and see the movie again. We don't show trailers. We showed old-time historical newsreels. At Katunkwit's Movie House of Memories, you can get lost for days at a time. We're open Thursdays through Sunday evenings from 4 p.m. to midnight weekly. Currently showing Rocky Horror Picture Show and Bambi, located at the corner of Katunkwit, Maine and Reverend Streets. So we have a movie theater in Katunkwit, which I'm sure you're aware of. Do you frequent this old-time movies?
Once.
Joint.
And I must confess, they do a bang-up job in cleaning up the seats or couches.
Is there a lot of semen on these couches and seats?
Not so much on the floors. I ruined a favorite pair of sneakers there. I went to go see a movie, and I'd say from that one afternoon, well, to about maybe 30 to 60 days later, I was hearing that sound of squish stick,
Still
squish
squeak.
stick, squish stick.
Oh, gross. So what
Yeah.
do you attribute this material to be? What do you think is butter or human stuff?
I think if it was human stuff, it would have broken down within 60 days.
Yeah.
I think,
Okay.
Seems artificial.
Yes,
Yeah.
something in the pop fizz category,
Yeah,
maybe.
yeah.
Okay, all right. So let's not get too far down the road there. That's like a little too much. We're going in the wrong direction there, tell me when I get that far off track.
Well, my
Kevin.
point is maybe they should offer galoshes as a,
Oh yeah, yeah.
to customers.
But they have a nice concept. I like the concept, right?
Brilliant concept. That's why
I like the locally grown, the locally brewed. Let's go for that, and we'll think about the nice things about it.
Oh, they also had a very big miss with one of their vintage newsreels.
Did they?
It was based on a 1933 episode, I think, where it was Mr. Kennedy, Joseph Kennedy Sr., I believe. And I think the newsreel that was Nazi superhumans are our friends. And I thought to myself, wow, this is really going way back before anyone could really take ownership of something like that to realize what a faux pas.
Yes, I think he made an error on that one. He was very much a Nazi sympathizer because of his. He was definitely not interested in engaging in any war, and he thought he could circumnavigate that.
He's-
Served as the ambassador to Great Britain.
I believe that's when that newsreel was featured, yes. Or, sorry, that was featured in that newsreel.
A second business here is Slick Willie's Swimsuits is opening on Katunkwit, Maine. This is brand new. Have you been over? Have you checked this out?
I haven't. No, there's a new clothing.
Have you? You been over?
Just seen the storefront on the wall.
Yeah, because they haven't opened yet, but
Okay.
they're coming. And they come to Slick Willie's grand opening and get greased up for the upcoming season. We have tanning oils, tanning gels, and sunscreens of all types, including shades, masks, and long-sleeve UV impenetrable clothing. Slick Willie has the finest swimming apparel for all your bathing needs. Stop by our grand opening Saturday, April 4th, and get lubed up. So we have Slick Willie's. That's coming right up.
Yeah, just in time for the summer season.
Yes, right in
Yeah.
time. And I think the weather's supposed to break next week. I'm so excited. That'll give me some more golf opportunities. I have been out 3 times thus far.
There you go.
I had 2 good rounds. And I'm coming off of surgery, as everyone in podcast world knows, for my hand and my back. So great to get out there, pain-free. Tony's Memorial Sandwich Shop is offering all things ham for the Easter holidays. Ham sandwiches, ham blints, ham hocks, ham stew, and ham on the lamb. The one that got away, says Tony Americo, owner and operator of Tony's Memorial Sandwich Shop. Tony says, April is Get Your Salt Fix month, so come on down, bring your good attitude and hysterical self, and join us for Ham Harmony, located at Blessing Hill Promenade and Katunkwit, Maine. And that's a fun little place to go and get your ham on.
Get your ham on.
Yeah, and ham on the lamb.
Ham on the lamb.
Wait a minute, what do they say? There's ham hocks, ham stew, and ham on the lamb. The one that got away. All right. PSAs. This public service announcements. Al's Carnival and Scary Rides will once again grace our fair island with Al's Carnival Experience. Al says, if you haven't been to Al's Carnival and Scary Rides, you haven't lived to experience fear. April 11th through the 21st, Fort Perry, Katunkwit, Rhode Island. And I say this, I find the scary part of Al's Carnival, and probably you do too, the people that he has working with him are very scary individuals. Mm-hmm. Let's just say that. And I'm not saying that across the board. Mm-hmm. I don't want to generalize like that. But there was a couple of people that there weren't enough cigarettes in all of South County for this dude. Okay, so there we have that. So that's all we have. We don't have any more businesses that we're going to commercialize
All right.
this day. Do you have one that you might have picked up while I was?
I didn't have anyone contact me this week for.
We'd like to thank the University of Rhode
Of course,
Island
yes.
and the and the Launch Lab, as we always do, for their assistance with all of this, which we've mentioned before. I will note that coming up April 15th on that other island, Jamestown, Rhode Island, at the Narragansett Cafe, Wednesday night live at the Ganny, open mic night.
Great night.
Starts at 7 to 9, and you should pre-register. Pre-registration's at 6:30. But however, there's a way to pre-register online, and I just can't remember the name of how to do that. Not right now. I'm not going to do it. Not going to do it. So, we got to go with some bubbles,
Bubbles.
some music, and some waves. At this time, do you need a break?
I never need a break.
We don't need breaks. We don't. We're going to hang in here. And so in last episode, we were able to record Section 3 of Spring Break.
Yes.
Spring Break is a long, short story. And we're going to do a section of this. We're gonna do Section 4 of a 5-section short, very long story. And Spring Break, I went to the origins for this. Everything comes from personal experience to some degree, and art is autobiographical in some respects because things that you've experienced in life come into the work, and in this case, it has come into the work. Of course, it's embellished. And of course, not all of these activities took place in 1 week of revelry. However, what I'd like to say is a lot of it did.
Yeah.
So it's very close to me. And as I'm writing this, I'm not writing. It's writing itself. It's amazing. I'm just... And it's been really kind of a fun experience. I told Eva, I said, Eva, I'm really enjoying writing this. So hopefully you'll enjoy it too. But let's just review what's happened in Section 3. Well, for those of you that didn't listen to 1 and 2, there's a spring break activity down in Fort Lauderdale. It happens every year in the 1980s. It's setting in 1983. We have 12 characters that are going to take a van down there. There's only one that can drive because of insurance issues. That we call that fellow we call the old man. As soon as we get down there, the old man takes off and goes to Orlando because he loves Disney, and he just says, I'm taking off, and leaves everyone. So we arrive at a point where principal at this point in the story, Colton and Audra have sort of hooked up as boyfriend and girlfriend. And William Sauer is the character. William Sauer is sort of the ringleader for all of this. But he has no money because he left his money and his clothing in the van that went to Orlando. And he's very, very much a survivalist. But he's kind of hooked up with these three. His fiancée has a posse of her own. There are 3 men, if you exclude the old man who took off. 3 men, and there are 9 women. One of which is his fiancée, William's fiancée, Karen. Okay?
All right.
So what happened is they arrived at Fort Lauderdale, Florida, with 11 members of the party of 12. The driver goes to Orlando. No one's certain whether he'll return at all with the van. Audra, William, and Colton go to the Marriott rooftop. Will steals from a convenience store while they're on their way to the Marriott. Will offers Colton as a dating game he registers him for the dating game. And Colton, they get VIP passes for this, so they're able to circumnavigate the lines. And Colton arrives on stage, and he's bachelor number 3. Audra's dubious about Colton's involvement because she just got this boyfriend who she really likes, and he's kind of dubious about it too. But William is always putting them in spots where they shouldn't be in. Bachelor number 3 speaks with a British accent and woos the crowd with his answer, "I like to snort cocaine with elephants." And he wins the bachelorette date. Now, there are 800 people on the top of this roof, this giant screen, and there's bachelor number 3. He wins a date with Margaret Lemelton of Memphis State. And Audra's pissed that he won. But they get lots of Seagram 7 because that's a sponsor. Seagram 7 hooks them up and establishes the relationship with Cole and Audra as stronger than ever. Colton asks Audra to join on the date, so with Margaret the next day, which was the date. And Margaret doesn't know Colton has a girlfriend. William encourages him to try to be with both women, but bad advice. Colton really only wants to be with Audra. The group of 11 go to Luigi's, and they're all dressed up, Luigi's restaurant, for a night out. But Luigi's line is tremendous. It's long. And William works a deal because they're short of help. And the posse all leaves. All the women leave with Karen. And only the 3 amigos, Audra, William, and Colton, help Luigi Sr. With the backroom work. They all have aprons. They go back there, they work. And then they have dinner, a special dinner put on by Luigi Sr. And the beautiful table that they have. And Luigi Jr. they meet. And Luigi Jr. Takes them out for the night. William makes a deal for breakfast and dinner so he doesn't have to pay for his meals. So he's always scheming. And they finish dinner after closing hours. Luigi Sr. gives the group $100, and he gives his son $200. And they go to the Rusty Scupper. They dance all night. William steals money and sweatshirts from the Rusty Scupper. And that's where we left it.
All right.
So we are on chapter 4. Exciting. Are you did you follow any of that? You follow?
I follow.
How about you? Did you follow?
I've always been intrigued with the notion of spring break. It's driven by the mad pursuit of good times and alcohol, if I'm not mistaken.
It's like it's also a little bit like December 31st. You know, it's amateur hour, and everyone has these massive expectations of getting laid and all that stuff, and it doesn't always work out. Spring Break Part 4. William was the kind of guy that Colton and Audra appreciated. They were all adventurous, free-spirited, and skilled, but Audra and Colton didn't seek the danger and thievery thrown into everyday existence. They both had great concern for mankind, but William, like them, was a survivalist. As the month of March approached, William didn't want to miss spring break despite having no money. So he set up the entire experience, organized the transportation, shorted the group on lodging, but he always landed on his feet. Well, at Luigi's family restaurant, he secretly made a deal with Luigi Sr. for 11 people to eat breakfast and lunch each day at Luigi's. The deal included 10 paying customers and 1 free meal. His. In the course of a day and one half, William Sauer had secured food, clothing, and shelter for himself, and by extension for the group as well. It remained to be seen if the old man would return from Orlando to pick up the weary group of travelers at the end of the week. Audra and Colton stacked the luggage using rectangular luggage pieces like a wall and created space for 2 to lie together in the hotel room. The others slept throughout the room, with 3 women, Lola, Nicole, and Tina, sleeping on the queen-size bed. William stole pillows from the laundry storage facility the night before, so each person in the group had a pillow. "Are you okay with this?" Colton asked Audra. "Sleeping with you?" she asked. "Yeah, I mean, it seems like the best thing to do, seeing that there's such a space issue in this room," Colton said. "Except for the giant hard-on you have that's sticking in the back of my quadricep. I guess it'll be okay," she whispered. "I can't help it, Audra. I'm wicked into you," he returned the whisper. "We can't do it here, not tonight, not even after they're sleeping," Audra said. "Maybe tomorrow, during midday while everyone's at the beach," Colton offered. "Maybe," Audra said. "It's okay if we don't," Colton said. You're going to go for the bachelorette." "I just know it," Audra spoke up a little too loudly. Tina yelled, "Would you two fucking lovebirds shut up? I'm trying to get some sleep. I got a wicked sunburn, so shut up." "Good night, Audra," Colton whispered as he kissed the back of Audra's neck. "Good night, Cole," Audra said while reaching around and removing Colton's rod from her thigh. "Any place you can put that thing?" she asked quietly. "Don't worry, I'll take care of it. Also, you just called me Cole. Only William calls me Cole. Now you too? I might change my name. I like it. Cole. Cole. Keep calling me Cole, will you?" he asked. "Okay, I will. I won't," she said sweetly atop the threadbare sheet that protected them from the dirty carpet. "Night-night, Cole," she said. "Good night, Audra," Cole said, while wide awake. Cole waited for Audra and the group to fall asleep and slipped outside the room, grabbed a blanket at the front desk from the night manager, who was a single mom who worked 2 jobs. Colton slept aside the pool in the lounge chair despite the late-night arrivals from the bars and the moist, hot air wafting into the pool area from the Atlantic Ocean. He slept until William Sauer awakened him at 8:30 the following morning. "Wake up, Cole. Get in the pool and clean up. We've got breakfast set up for us at 9 a.m. sharp at Luigi's, and then we're going to see what the bachelorette has for you." "Oh, okay. I'm just waking up. Give me a minute." "No time to waste, man," William said just before he lifted Cole in the lounge chair and dumped him in the pool. "Oh, fuck. It's fucking cold, Sarah. Why'd you do that?" Colton asked. "Now rinse down in the outdoor shower." "I already did. I've been up since 6 a.m., William declared. "What did you steal so far?" I didn't steal anything. I'm thrifty, that's all. I'm a business supply chain major, man. I'm resourceful. That's what I am," he clarified. "Then resource me a towel. Using the outdoor shower is probably better than trying to fight for a spot in our room's shower," Colton said. "Hey, they're showering 2 at a time in there, washing backs. It's actually kind of sexy with the women giggling and everything." "Patty's very loud. I had to get out of there," William admitted, as he threw Colton a towel from the pile, as he placed 10 towels beneath his right arm for later. "I couldn't sleep so close to Audra. My thing was sticking in her leg, and I didn't know what to do, so I came down here. It's better than not sleeping. Like I'm sure you didn't sleep," Colton surmised as he simultaneously toweled off at the rinsing station. I never sleep well without Karen. It wasn't going to be possible with the bed situation," William said. The 2 guys walked up the steps to the second floor, carrying a hefty supply of towels, and opened the door to the room. "We're going to the beach, people. No need for a full prep-up runway model grooming. Breakfast and then to the beach. So let's get on with it, people. We have 10 minutes before Luigi gives our table away." "I heard about Luigi's from Audra. She says it's great," Tina said. "It's great, and it better be, because we have a reservation for 2 meals per day there for the rest of the trip. till Sunday morning, William announced. Is it prepaid? Karen asked. No, but we'll definitely get a deal at Luigi's, believe me, William said. I don't believe you, Patty said while stretching her Achilles tendon against the wall. Do they have salads? She asked. Not for breakfast. Maybe a fruit cup or a fruit shake. I don't know. Let's go. Come on, he urged. The group ate breakfast at Luigi Sr. as Luigi Sr. ogled the women in our group, talking and giving the group a history lesson about Fort Lauderdale till it was nearly 10 a.m. We have to go, Mr. Luigi. Say hello to Luigi Jr., William said while smiling as he paid the bill in $5s and $1 bills. You make Luigi very happy today. You bring your group on time and you pay in the small bills. I got to change for the rest of the day and I don't have to go to the bank, Luigi Sr. said. Everyone yelled goodbye. Luigi Sr. said, farewell. I'll see you at 7 p.m. for dinner. Everyone returned. Okay. Except Patty. She complained because the pineapple was from a can and she could taste the metallic can taste when she ate her fruit cup. Patty, you can make up the calories with the Seagrams, William said. The group crossed the street together as the crosswalk to a spot beneath the coconut palms on the street side of the beach. Colton carried 2 bottles of Seagrams and several mixers and cups in his backpack. The bottles clanked as he hopped on the already hot sand. Audra opened a tie-dyed beach blanket, big enough for half the group to sit on. Uh-oh, William said while pointing at the crosswalk at a group of 5 women crossing Route 1A, led by Margaret Lemilton of Memphis State, a.k.a. the Bachelorette. Here she comes, William announced. Let's have a drink before she gets here, Colton said. You afraid of the Bachelorette beach bunny? Audra stated to Colton in front of the hungover group. Colton poured a few shots into the bottom of a cup and downed it before the women arrived. This is Margaret Lemilton of Memphis State, and this is our gang, Colton said as she approached. She was wearing an oversized beach dress over her black bathing suit and carrying way too much stuff. Audra just shook her head as the women nested, trying to find a space on the already crowded beach. William leaned in close to speak with Colton. I wasn't aware she was fat. She wasn't fat yesterday. Colton had just taken a big gulp of Seagram 7 when William approached, and he spat it out in the sand. Nice, Margaret said to Colton as she sat down on her Coleman cooler. Drinking already, Colton Shaver from Rhode Island State College. You know, that's all I know about you, she said. He has a girlfriend. She's right there next to the palm tree. Her name is Audra, Tina revealed. Well, that makes things easy. I never wanted to be on a stupid show anyway. Penny made me do it, Margaret said while pointing at her friend. He's cute, Penny said while pointing at Colton. And he has a great British accent, another member of their group said. Do you have any cocaine? She said, and the other women in the group laughed. Anyone up for a walk? William said. For Christ's sake, Sarah, we just arrived here on the beach, Karen reported loudly to the group. I can sit here on the beach. I've got to move. This beach stuff is like waiting to die, William said dramatically. I'll go, Audra said. I'll go too, Colton said. Your date's over, Bachelorette. It seems Bachelor number 3 wasn't a bachelor after all, Margaret, Penny said boldly. If you want me to stay, I'll stay, Colton said to Margaret. It's cool. Just go, Margaret told Colton. The 2 groups of women began mingling and talking. One for the road, Colton asked as he poured 3 large shots of whiskey. A toast, William said. A toast to hydration, Audra replied. The 3 hoist their plastic cups in the air, and William toasted quietly among the 3 amigos. To friends, Sláinte. It's St. Patrick's Day. Sláinte, Sláinte, the 2 say in unison as they drink it down and drop their cups and walk towards the beach, as William took a minute to talk to Karen. "We're going down the beach for a walk. We'll be back in an hour or so," William said to Karen, who was talking so much to the new women from F Estate that she didn't even hear him, and he slipped down to join the group. When he arrived at the water's edge, he met Colton and Audra, swishing their feet and splashing one another. "I heard that there's a nude beach down a few beaches past Lauderdale. Let's go," William revealed. "I don't know about that. You have to have a lot of jam to walk around naked," Colton said. "I'll go, but I'm not going naked. I was born without a jam," Audrey said. "I just want to see the beach with the nudes, that's all. But I have a lot of jam," William said while pointing at his crotch. "Okay, let's go," Audrey said while dragging Colton. "Come on, Pokey," she said. "Pokey?" Colton questioned while Audrey ran ahead. "Sometimes you're too slow for her," William said. "Christ, sometimes you're too slow for me," William revealed. "All right," Colton said while he mumbled to himself. "Pokey? Pokey?" The three amigos walked for miles, and there wasn't any nude beach. "Welcome to" signs separating towns created marking points for the three, as they often asked people that they passed, "Excuse me, where's the nude beach?" And each time they'd ask, the person would say, "It's just down that way. Keep going." So they did keep going, and it was mid-afternoon before they reached the nude beach. "Is this it?" Audra asked. "Well, they're old, but technically they are nude," Colton said. "She's not bad," William said while he pointed at a tall, blonde, naked bronze mother with bleach blonde hair and two towhead naked children that were making a sandcastle. Not 30 feet away sat two old, wrinkled, leathery men drinking martinis. "She's 35, William, and she has 2 kids, but the old guy seems friendly." "Oh, the old guys seem friendly," Audra said. "I can tell she has a nice personality," William said. "How?" Audra asked. "It's the shape of her nice ass," William said. "That's wicked sexist and misogynist," Audra pointed out. "I think it might be okay to be sexist at a nude beach," William replied. "Not if you're clothed," Colton said. "We're the minority here. We're young, poor, clothed, and heterosexual. Let's go up to Route 1A and see if we can find a bar. And after all, it is St. Patrick's Day," William said. "Do you have any money with you?" he asked. "I'm a little flush for money after buying everyone's breakfast. I spent it all," William said. "You spent that wad you stole while we were at Rusty's Scupper?" Audra asked. "Yeah." "But no. Where'd you get the money and the sweatshirts?" she asked as they crossed the hot road quickly. "Ouch, ouch." "It was lying on the bar. Somebody was going to take it. It wasn't me," he said while walking on the grass. "You stole the bartender's tips?" Colton asked. No, somebody just left money. Drunk people. It happens all the time," he said. "Yeah, they leave it for the bartender," Audra said with a chuckle. "This was found money, not stolen money. The sweatshirts were gifts for our superb dancing. The owner wanted us to have them," William said while pulling the remaining $5 from his pocket. "I've got a 20. That should keep us going," Colton said. "I have $10 too," Audra said as she pulled a $10 bill from her bikini top as they walked to the local ABC bar, Pompano Beach. Cars approached the drive-up window to the bar and ordered as if they were ordering hamburgers and argued with the server over the price. As the three amigos approached the front door, a sign out front said, "Happy St. Patrick's Day. Melon ball cocktails, 50 cents apiece." "Have you ever had a melon ball, Colton?" she asked. "No, but I have 40 of them in my pocket," he said. "Let's go." "Ready, set, go," William said. A dirty-faced clock showed the time to be 3 p.m. as they made their way to the nearly empty bar, with a woman that looked like she could be the sister of the nude lady with the kids on the beach seated, encouraging the 2 kids that looked to be similar to the ones on the beach to eat at a table in the corner. The draped windows permitted no light. The velvet faded red drapes hung to the floor. "Seems like a friendly place," Audra said sarcastically as the bartender, while smoking a cigarello, spoke, and the cigarello jumped, distracting Colton, what do you all want? You all 18, right? He asked, without conviction. That's a formality. Yeah, we're 18. What's in a melon ball drink? Audra asked. Midori, vodka, and orange juice, the bartender barked. 3 of those. That sounds healthy, Audra said. Sir, do you get the preseason Red Sox games on the television, William asked. Nobody calls me sir. Name's Dusty to y'all, Dusty said. I'll see it if it's on, he said as he spun the dial on the black and white TV. Thanks for trying. Dusty made the drinks. The thirsty 3 drank them as fast as he could bring them. By the time the Red Sox game came on at 7 p.m., they'd gone through $15 worth of melon balls. Myself, I'm switching over to beer and shots before I get the shits, William said while slurring his words. Karaoke's coming on in an hour. Free corned beef and cabbage coming right out for you all, Dusty announced. Audra's head was on the bar, and she looked up when she heard corned beef cabbage was to be served. William held her up to make sure she didn't fall from the bar stool. Colton, take the $10 from my top and give it to Dusty, she said in a long, drawn-out fashion. Colton slides 2 fingers into Audra's bikini top and takes the $10 bill. What do you think you're doing? A woman in the darkest corner yelled out. Colton could see only her tousled hair and a mountain of a man she was sitting with. He noticed her right hand moving beneath the table and her cigarette held out to point at the Colton. The man receiving the hand job beneath the table remained oblivious to her nearly toothless expression of concern. You can't be stealing that drunk bitch's money. Dusty, he's stealing that drunk bitch's money, she reported while slowing her hand job, but continuing nevertheless. No, ma'am. She's with me. I'm just getting a tip for Dusty, that's all. Promise. She told me to get the money. Audra lifts her head. For Dusty. Right. It's right. It's for Dusty, Audra interjects. Dusty approaches the dark corner and the woman's hand stops jerking off this big guy, and he suddenly noticed his surroundings. Take it outside. Outside. Out back's okay, but not in the bar area, Lizzie. Dusty said this like he had the same conversation with her every day. Everyone's attention shifts with the chef arrived with the corned beef and the potatoes, complete with the cabbage and the Irish soda bread. It's free? Audra asked. You all been drinking all day. It's free for you, Dusty said nicely. It's good. Maybe sober me up a little bit, so Audra said while standing. Whoa. Ship's in a storm or something. Ship's in a storm, Audra said while wobbling as she stood. Buffet style. Take as much as y'all want, Dusty announced. 2 Guinness for us 2 and a cup of coffee for the lady, William ordered. The 3 amigos hadn't eaten all day, so dinner lasted a couple hours while they watched the baseball game on the small television. What do you people do to have fun here in Pompano Beach, Florida? William asked Dusty. Y'all mean outside and hanging out at the ABC Lounge? Sometimes we go to the other side of Route 95 and go wild boar hunting. And sometimes we'll have a nice shrimp dinner on the beach. My wife makes a nice gumbo. We'll have a Sunday dinner on the beach. That's about all. Dusty expressed his thoughts with great reverence for his wife as he spoke. Nothing for you all's age, he finished. Let's go swimming, Audra said while patting her stomach and taking another large bite of corned beef. This corned beef is so delicious, Audra screamed. Y'all don't go swimming. There's sharks on this beach, especially at night, Dusty revealed. What kind of sharks? Like great whites? Colton asked. Jaws. Is Jaws out there? Audra asked, wide-eyed. Great whites, tiger sharks, but the worst ones are the bull sharks. They'll take down a few people every year, right out there, Dusty said. I'm not swimming, William said. You chicken shit. You afraid of a little shark? Audra teased. He's right, Colton said. Who's right? The great Dusty or William? Audra asked. Both, Colton surmised. I guess you're right. What time is it? Audra asked as William ordered a final round of melon balls for the group with the last of his money. The time is 11:24 p.m., Miss Audra, Dusty said. He was on a first-name basis with the group. Audra counted the hours on the big dirty clock above the bar. By my calculations, we have been gone for 13 hours and 24 minutes. That's a long time. Lola and Tina and Karen, oh my God. Karen doesn't know where you are, William. She must be worried. Last round? William asked distractedly. No more rounds. We've got to get you back to your Karen. That's the right thing to do, isn't it, Audra? Colton reasoned. It's the right thing to do. I'm in. Audra gets off the bar stool. It stands awkwardly, slipping backward slightly. Mr. Dusty's shrimp gumbo on the beach, bartender. I bid you adieu. Audra pretended to tip her hat, but she didn't have a hat to tip. William grabs Audra's hand, and Audra holds on to Colton as they head toward the exit. Bye, old lady in the corner giving hand jobs and the old guy at the end of the bar with the creepy eyes, Audra announced as William opened the front door to the bar to let her out safely. Dusty. Thank you, Colton said. Take a right when you leave. You'll get back to Lauderdale in a couple hours, Dusty said. And that's section 4, spring break. So, what do you think of spring break so far?
I'm going to guess they're going to have some sort of a mishap maybe on the way home.
Seems like an awful long way to go. A couple hours back to where they're trying to get to, you know?
Well, William's very resourceful.
Yeah, that's true, yeah.
And you never can. He includes theft in everything he does. Mm-hmm. So you're right. There might be some mishap and some. Well, maybe not.
Well, it also. What did he say? He had money for 40. Was it 40 of the drinks? And we know they had at least 15. And he got one more round, so they might be running a little low on cash.
Well, they have that. If you do the math, she had 10,
yep,
that she gave to Dusty,
yep,
as a tip. He had 20, mm-hmm, so there's 40 drinks there. Mm-hmm. Then he switched over a little bit to beer and shots,
yep.
And so it's an untold number, but it was a lot.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
And that part of the experience was true. I had $20. We had 40 drinks. And it was a lot of shitting.
That's how you learn your lesson.
Yeah, so, I mean, I had that experience. So,
is that the Midori that does that? Is that known like to be a laxative of some kind?
Well, it's fruit,
Okay.
Sugary drink.
Right, might as well drink it back.
And orange juice, too.
Can of peaches, here you go.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Right.
Yeah, so imagine all that orange juice as well. And then was it vodka, I said?
Yeah, vodka, yeah.
So it was...
Definitely some acidic things
lot
going on, yeah.
Yeah. It was a hard walk home for us. There was just two of us in the real world when this happened in 1983. William Sauer and I traveling back from, attempting to go to a nude beach 8 miles from Lauderdale. We didn't know it was going to be 8 miles.
Yep.
But, we got talking.
Yep.
A lot to talk about when you're 23, 22.
Wasn't there a rumor to a nude beach back home in Katunkwit?
Yeah, there is a nude beach in Katunkwit. It's fairly inaccessible. You need a rope to get to it.
Sounds hazardous.
And
especially if you're
it's a
naked.
cliff and a rope. Eva fell when she tried it. She had flip-flops on. And she tried to go down a cliff with the rope and everything. It was a bad decision on my part. She got very injured. I didn't have to, fly her out of there or anything, but I was able to carry her out. It was terrible. So I wouldn't say that. Well, we weren't going to go down there nude because we had the kids with us, but there was nobody on that beach, and it's a very secluded little area. It was going to be fun, and we brought something to cook down there and everything, but it didn't work out because there was quite a bit of skin missing from the backside of Eva and some bruising. So what was your spring break like? Did you have a spring break from film college?
I did. And I have to admit...
Would you go to Coney Island?
No, actually, that I did that as an adult, and it was far more adventurous than anything I ever bargained for on any spring break. That's a story for another time. If I can share that, I was a full-grown adult.
Wait a minute, a full-grown adult with young college students?
No, this was the Coney Island experience.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry. Yeah.
No.
That cyclone is something, isn't it?
It is. I never quite understood why anyone would subject themselves not just to the centrifugal forces that are related to that, but much when you were saying about the carnival coming to town, I always think of the missing pieces.
Exactly.
And
yeah.
the screws that aren't always there or whatever. You know, I think a lot of that chain
Safety belt.
Safety belt.
That's not there.
There's no safety belt. Nope.
It's just like a
Interesting,
bar.
The movie theater has safety belts.
Yeah, they need it.
Okay. But spring break, yes. I do remember the conundrum of being in college for the first 2 years, not being legally able to buy alcohol. And then suddenly, well,
It's much younger than me.
there are ways around that. The fake ID or whatnot. I went to school in Boston, so we actually used to make fake IDs, my cousin and I, my American cousin. And it was quite profitable. Very popular in the dorms at every college. We could get in.
You sure you want to admit to this all these years later?
I believe the statute of limitations is on my side. And
Maybe not now with this new government, okay?
I'm sure there are far worse crimes, but they're not going to. Whatever. Who knows? But it's back to my first spring break. We went down, my college roommate and I, thinking that we were going to have a grand time. We went to a place called Hilton Head, not knowing what it was.
It's golf.
It was nothing that we were envisioning from the raucous and riotous elements of college youth run amok. And we didn't stay but one night, and found our way down to Myrtle Beach, which wasn't that far, which was everything we had hoped for. And that was the 90s where things were,
It's before the internet was...
the rules of engagements and what was considered entertaining.
Right.
But you mentioned in your story, one of the characters, the old man, goes to Orlando. And I myself did a trip to Orlando because another good friend of mine at film school was dating this girl they had met over Christmas break, and she had got a coveted internship at Disney World. So we got a full access experience of going behind the scenes at Disney World.
That's very cool.
And then Disney actually has something that caters to adults called Pleasure Island. And this was at the height of the grunge movement or the grunge era with music, so what would normally be probably a few years earlier people just benignly dancing and bumping and grinding was people slamming into each other and crushing each other's body parts. And of course there were a bunch of Germans there, and if you know anything about going to Germany or hanging out with Germans, and I don't mean to be stereotypical, but they do enjoy body contact and they do enjoy and it's particularly if it's alcohol fueled.
Yep.
Hey, who doesn't? I can face it.
But long story short, I ended up in the emergency room thinking I was going to be a quadra or paraplegic because the paramedic told me that...
That's serious.
Yeah, he said that you're a fool enough to do this activity. You might have smashed your vertebrae or something, but clearly, as you saw me walk in here, that was not the case. But for the next few hours, and talk about a drug experience, whatever they gave me that was a prescription grade was unbelievable. I mean, I didn't need to leave my hotel room at that point. I was happy watching old Bob Hope reruns, having a mind-altering experience. But that was my initial spring break. I do try to avoid any kind of alcohol-laden mass groupings of college students.
That's probably at your age, and definitely. But you've more recently, I would suggest, was a student.
Yeah.
So maybe 8 years ago.
10 years, but yeah.
10 years. Did you have a chance to go on a special spring break?
Yeah, it's funny. We never did anything.
South County.
Yeah. We never did anything when I was living down here. Freshman, sophomore year, just because, like we said, it wasn't really the easiest way to party or anything like that.
Okay, so on that topic, we won't go any further with that. That's enough about spring break. But anything else you want to discuss while you're here with us? And you're welcome to come back at any time. I don't know, Callahan, what'd you think of this
He's
guest?
a great guest. Great
A
guest.
great guest. And you guys share a lot of the same interests, which is good. And
I think
Did
that's
you-
the curse of growing up in Conunquit, no?
Exactly.
Katonka, yeah, you. I have the question for you. Were you able to see the scene as I was reading? Could you be able to
Vividly.
Yeah. me
pull
too.
it together?
Yes.
Good.
Yeah.
And like anytime I read something or hear something being spoken word, I automatically think, how would I tell this story with a camera, and how would I tell the story as a cinematic device?
Right.
I think you're distracted by that. I noticed that if it's something visual was being expressed, you were thinking about that. I know you were. I know it because I know you a little bit, and I know that's the way you think. It's great.
But to me, it was all about, I was envisioning reactions of people from what others were saying.
Yeah.
Not them saying it, but for example, the girl from Tennessee wasn't quite the way she was. He didn't remember her quite the
Memphis,
way
yeah.
she Memphis, sorry. Memphis State or whatever. And I could imagine what others would react hearing somebody say that.
Yeah.
And that's almost, there's a comedy in that
Yeah.
moment.
Yeah.
Where it's not what they're saying is funny. It's how people are reacting to it, which is funny.
Yeah. Well, that was the intent, so that's good. That's good. Well, you can only find out about chapter 5 by listening to. That's chapter 4. But next week, our 70th episode.
Episodes.
And it'll be include the chapter 5 of what's the name of it?
Spring Break.
Spring Break.
Yeah.
Katunquit Chronicles says goodbye, farewell, auf Wiedersehen, goodbye.